Good day, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for turning out to share your Sunday self-care with me. And today's topic, I'm going to talk to you about layering skincare and the importance of that. If you think about one of the functions of the skin is to actually repel, keep things out from entering your skin. So with skincare, we actually want it to penetrate deeper to an area where it's going to be effective for us. So there is an art form in layering. Essentially, yes, oils can penetrate through the skin, but the rule of thumb really is we start with the lightest product first. So that would be your water-based products, your skin tonics, your serums. Then you will apply your oilier serums, your active serums, your creams, and seal in with an oil if that's necessary for your skin type. So that's just like a basic sliding scale. I'm going to talk you through my morning ritual and then my evening ritual and explain to you where you can use your products in there for you. Essentially, the morning ritual is we're talking about strengthening the skin, protecting the skin. We're layering antioxidants in the skin, and we want to protect ourselves from the sun's rays, free radical damage on there. In the evening, we're treating the skin. So I'm going to go through my morning ritual with you first. Now, mornings need less cleansing. So I like to use just a little konjac sponge, which will naturally remove any sebum and oil and pollution and dirt and dust that you will get in your bedroom, particularly if you have AC and ceiling fans on. We'll talk about that later. Now, one of my favorite products at the moment is Cosmetic Immunity, and this is a powder. It's an enzyme powder made from mushrooms. Now, beta-glucan is one of its main ingredients, and that's an awesome ingredient for the skin. However, this is made from mushrooms. It's normally derived from oats. It's a little powder. Dip your hand in water, few drops, and massage it together, and you get a wonderful creamy texture. Just massage your face. If you can massage your face for a minute, you'll quite often, if you're using a powder or a water-based cleanser or a gel cleanser, you will need to apply extra water to that to keep the slip going on your skin. Then rinse all that off. A little trick I do, particularly because I travel quite a lot and I find myself in different water areas, and that will affect my skin, the changing of water, their pH. So what I do is I call these hairdresser bottles. I'm not quite sure what everybody calls them, but you can easily get them anywhere. I fill it up with water, but I buy Evian water or Volvic water or some mineral water. Sometimes I'll put a bit of aloe in. If you're going to put essential oils, literally just one drop for the whole bottle, and make sure you shake every time. And I will spritz my skin after I've washed it with that, and then just pat that on so that the last water on my skin has a better nutrient base and is not stripping and harsh full of lime. So the first step in my morning ritual is a skin tonic. When choosing your skin tonics, you want to be careful that they don't have fragrances in. They don't have parfum. They don't have lots of additives and preservatives and harsh. Even witch hazel can be a little bit harsh on the skin, particularly if you have a dry, dehydrated skin. It's okay for people who have an oilier skin, but for the purpose of skin tonics that I'm using is to hydrate the skin. Regardless of your skin type, you need to hydrate your skin. If you don't want to use a skin tonic or you don't have one, you can literally use a spray bottle of water, but do make sure that you're putting in Evian or Volvic or mineral water in there. So the first thing is I spritz my face. Take a wonderful deep inhale of all of that. Again, this is Cosmetic Immunity. This is a range of products that I absolutely love to recommend for all ages. Now, we're just going to tap that in. Double purpose of this is we're tapping in the hydration that we're going to then seal in with all the serums, the creams, and the oil. But you're also activating all the nerve endings, you're activating your lymphatic drainage, and just waking up your skin, and you're touching your skin. You're coming in contact. So after I've applied a layer of that, sometimes you might want to apply a layer or two. You can feel your skin changes all the time. If you've got extra stress in your life, if you're taking medication, short-term, long-term, if you've been in an air-conditioned environment and you're not used to that, all these sort of factors will dry and dehydrate the skin. So there's no right or wrong. You can only apply it once, twice, 3 times. And each essence and tonic will have a different amount of strength in there. I then choose to put hydration into my skin. I have a dry skin naturally, but I also have a dehydrated skin as well. Dehydrated is something that just by my body, I'm causing that in there. I live in a very arid climate. We sometimes have minus humidity, which I didn't even actually believe existed until I moved here to Arizona. So again, I use beta-glucan. I'm not so keen on hyaluronic. If you do get a choice, beta-glucan is a better humectant. It's 20% more hydrating than hyaluronic acid. Now you can notice I am patting this into my skin, and I'm taking it all the way down my neck and behind my neck. Now the reason for this is we have pores and our skin isn't perfectly flat. I want to get inside those pores. This is how penetrating the product in. We don't want these expensive serums just sitting on the top surface of our skin. They're not actually doing anything. They're not being active. They're not getting into all the cells. So I always pat it in, making sure going along the bone, the occipital bone of the eye, along the nose. This is an area here that we often get a lot of damage and don't pay attention to around there. There's a lot of lymphatic drainage zones, actually particularly around the nose there. So I'm not a believer in putting 13 different serums on my skin. I don't believe more is better. I believe less can be more. If you have the correct serum, you don't need to be applying 20 different serums coming all from different angles. There's a rule of thumb in cosmetic formulation that if you don't have a high enough potency ingredient, it's not an active ingredient. It might say it on the label, so it might say there's CoQ10 on your label, but if it's not in high enough dosage, it's actually not benefiting your skin. It's just benefiting the marketing and the labeling on there. Vitamin C then is your next layer of antioxidant. So vitamin C is my choice. Quite often vitamin C can be harsh and irritate the skin. One of my favorite products is an Environ product, but at the moment I'm actually just trying the ordinary, and they have an oil based, and this is tetrahexadexyl, and it's a less inflammatory vitamin C. Vitamin C is very unstable. This is a very stable product. And if it oxidizes, it's actually not necessarily damaging your skin, but if it goes that orange color or even dark brown, it's not doing anything. The benefits of it have gone. It's oxidized. It's a little like rust on something. It's just the benefits have disappeared. So I'm actually going to mix a bit of my Environ and my ordinary together. And I always put it just on the tips of my fingers. I don't want it going all over my hands. These are expensive serums, and I want to make sure it goes on my face. So again, patting in first. Down the neck and behind the neck, along the décolleté. So I put the bulk of it on my face first, and whatever's left on my fingers, all through my neck, décolleté, and back of my neck. Now, the reason I'm going to the back of my neck is because if we think about, we talk of turkey neck, and if you pull your skin like that, yep, taking years off me, wonderful, just need some pegs and clips there. Now, if we're just concentrating on the skin here and not concentrating on the skin in the back, the skin in the back is going to lose its it's going to become lax and slack. and going to not hold the neck so well. So if we're just concentrating on the skin here, we're not going to get full benefits. We really want to make sure that we're benefiting all the skin. And it's quite nice at the back of the spine on the neck is actually to pull, and we're getting some drainage going here. And this is a really good feeling, especially if you do have tight neck and shoulders. And a sign that people do have tight neck and shoulders is the 11s sign just here between the eyes. It's not just aging. That means that there are neck injuries. And yes, by looking at my 11s, you know I've got some severe neck injuries there. So depending on the antioxidants that you're using, you might want to add another serum. To be honest, that's all I do. I put my hydration on, I put my antioxidant vitamin C on, and that's it. Sometimes if my skin's feeling very dry, I will spritz again and tap on there before I put my cream. Creams, we've heard of day creams, night creams. Night creams generally just have more active ingredients in. They will be thicker and gloopier. I tend to be a fan of Korean, Japanese-based products. And the reason for that is not only are they wonderfully cost effective, but they actually have fewer ingredients in. They're very active, those ingredients, and they're very effective. I have been blown away by looking at these light gel-like creams and thinking dry, dehydrated skin. Yeah, negative thought, I get that. Thinking it actually wasn't going to work. And each time I try a new cream, I try it without any oil. So I can just test the cream to see how effective it is on my skin. And I have to say to date, I have not been disappointed by any Korean cream that I have used. So this is another Cosmetic Immunity. They've just brought out a new one. This one is with ceramides. And because I have very dry, dehydrated skin, I'm going to use this morning. So again, on your fingertips, pat on first. So this patting technique is used for everything, whether if you're using your hands for foundation, tinted moisturizers, just think you have pores, and those pores aren't all perfectly flat. So we want to pat inside the pores, so we're given an even, smooth effect. And yes, then you can glide on. And if you want to give yourself a little bit of a massage, a great one for the neck here is using the back of the hands. And this tapping along here, along the cheekbones, is also an energy booster there for you. It works with your stomach meridian and is a great stomach booster for you there. So that's my morning routine. If my skin is feeling extra dry, which it was actually until I started using the Cosmetic Immunity new ceramide cream, I would add a little oil. My favorite oil is obviously my unlimited oil. And then a little bit of CBD. I've mentioned to you before about these Hawaiian CBD. If you're choosing Hawaiian products, these are available on my website now, but if you have CBD products, make sure that they are pure, that you know the source of them, and there's no extra additives. These ones are blended with extra herbs as well, which I really like. And I like because I can take a couple of drops myself, and a couple of drops for my skin externally. So you can see one of my posts and I talk to you more about the benefits of CBD, which is, they're wonderful on there. It really has been a game changer in supporting my skin for me. So I'm going to apply sunblock now, an SPF, and I'm actually just not going to do that because I'm going to go into the evening routine. But if you are using a physical sunblock, it's the last thing that you put on your skin. It's going to deflect the sun rays. If you are using a chemical, and I've stated that I'm not a fan of chemicals because it actually brings the sun rays in, uses chemicals, it diffuses everything, breaks it down into your blood, into your skin. If you are using a chemical sunscreen, and that is your preferred choice, you want to put it on before your moisturizer. So chemical sunscreen on first, then your moisturizer. If you're using a physical sunscreen, you put that on as the very last product that you're putting on. If you're using a foundation, after that, normally they will have sunblock in there as well. So that's just like a double protection. And that's a question I often get asked. Are BB creams, are tinted moisturizers, tinted sunscreens, are they okay to use on your skin? Or do I have to use both? Now, I actually do just use a tinted BB cream. It's a very sophisticated one. It's called Pure, P-U-R, and I just make sure that when you're putting it on that you do cover everything. And if your ears are exposed, if you've got short hair or you have your hair up, then you want to go over your ears and make sure you go all the way down your neck. So just apply a good layer of it so that you are getting full protection. But as we do know with products, not all products are equal, so do your research first. Now, going on to the evening skincare routine, we've got dirt and grime, we've got SPF on our face, we've got pollution, dust, whatever's been around the whole day. So it needs to be a more intense cleanse. I am a fan of double cleansing. And the first cleanse really is to slough off any external dirt that your face has gathered. And the second cleanse is to remove residue from that, but also to be your skin-specific cleanser and do the job. So if you have an oily skin, it will work with salicylic acids. If you have a dry skin, it will have all the nutrient, nourishing, sensitive ingredients in there for you. So there are many oils on the market at the moment. I actually make my own cleansing balm, which has meadow foam, Palo Santo, sandalwood, lots of wonderful ingredients on there. Environ do a really good one, a pre-oil cleanser. And Organic Cancer have just sent me one of their Ayurvedic blends, which I have to say is wonderful. I love using this with their cancer wand as a cleansing oil, but you can also use it as a topical oil at the end of your treatment on there as well. So with an oil, you can really get in and massage the skin, and that's going to be next Sunday self-care, is going to be how you can manually massage your skin. We don't need essentially all the gua shas and machines and everything. We actually have these wonderful hands that can massage and use great techniques hitting our pressure points on our skin. So there's a time and a place. I'm a great fan of mushrooms, gua sha, and cleansing equipment, but I also love my hands. That's how I make a living as well with those for 35 years. So I'm going to share with you some of my tips in next Sunday self-care. Massaging with an oil, it's wonderful to then use a hot cloth, whether you use a 4x4 gauze, which are readily available everywhere, or you use a microfiber cloth, or just a regular bamboo hand towel, things like that. Just make sure the water's warm, not too hot, nicely warm, and just remove any excess balm. A little tip I quite often do, sometimes I will do it in the bath, so I've got the wonderful steam working with me as I'm massaging it in, and I'll just sit back for 5 minutes and let it infuse into my skin. Then I'm using my enzyme powder as my second cleanse. I've tried so many cleansers, and this just happens to be my all-time favorite. As I mentioned, this is the only range that I have confidence as a professional for 35 years to recommend to anybody, whether it's somebody as a teenager just coming into skincare, whether it's a male that wants a simplistic routine, whether you've got acne rosacea, whatever your skin condition is, whatever your age, this builds up your immunity, gently sloughs off your skin. So this is my go-to base range, and then I add all my actives into it. They don't have the actives so much there. So talking of actives, in the evening, this is the time we want to do our treatments and actually infuse and put more ingredients in the skin. And the reason for this is, A, the skin doesn't have to protect itself against pollution, environment, stress, lights, just general lights that we have every day with us. And it can do that therapeutic treatment. It's the time to do your enzyme peels or whatever treatments you want to do at home, spot treatments to treat areas, for whether you have acne, rosacea, or you're treating spots. So the evening is that time that we're going to indulge and take a little bit longer with our skincare routine on there. However, essentially you would start again with skin tonic, and you're going to spritz your face, tap it in, and then I put in my hydration, because hydration is key and essential for the skin. It's something that I'm always using. A healthy skin helps it exfoliate naturally. If your skin is dry, it can't exfoliate. It needs the water in the skin to naturally slough off those dead cells that have died, but the cement and glue that's holding them together needs the water to release that, break it down and slough it off. A hydrated skin is needed if you're having treatments. So if you're going to go for active treatments, if you're having laser, if you're having peels, if you're having microdermaneedling, any active treatment that you're having with your esthetician or you're doing on yourself, you need to have a hydrated skin for the benefits to show and get the optimal results that you've worked really hard for. Now, vitamin C is something that we always talk about putting on the skin in the morning. We never talk about putting it on in the evening. Now, there's a double bonus there is sometimes with vitamin C, you don't want to have too high a potency if you're sensitive to it. So if you have a sensitive skin, you don't want to be using a strong vitamin C that's inflaming your skin. That's actually working against you. If your skin has inflammation, it's not healthy for you. So you're going to show signs of aging, signs of dryness. The skin's working hard to put everything all in action. And that said, it's really good to drink plenty of water all the time. And that helps flush all the organs, get the lymphatic system working, getting the kidneys working, liver, everything like that. So water is key and essential on there. Now, I'm applying vitamin C twice a day. I need the extra antioxidants, and I find I like the tetrahexadexyl. It has a lower percentage in there. It's a more gentle approach, but because I apply it twice a day, I'm still getting full benefits. So once I've applied that, and vitamin C is always one of the first products to go in because it's very difficult to absorb into the skin. It has a low pH, and the lower pH products are always put on first because they do penetrate more, and then the higher the pH, that slows down the penetration rate. And this is how sometimes formulations, they lower the pH of the skincare product to help push the product deeper into the skin on there. There are more sophisticated methods as well. So this is your time now to put in your collagen treatments, whatever your active skin is. If you're treating spots, Medicate, this is an excellent one. There's very few spot treatments that I do recommend, but you want salicylic acid. You want to put this straight on before you start putting your oils and your creams. It's not one of the last products when you're spot treating. So if you're treating certain areas for rosacea, this is the time now to put that treatment on. And again, don't think more is more. Less is more. And I know that sounds contradictory, but if you are putting too many treatments on, especially if they're lightening and active treatments, they can start being too active and actually become antagonists and work against each other. So you're actually, again, then just causing inflammation. And inflammation is the worst thing you want in your skin. It's the one thing you want to avoid at all costs on there. So if you think about it, over layering your skin then starts to detox because there's too much going on. And I often see people with lots of little lumps under their skin. This can be just that it's dry or they don't exfoliate enough, but quite often it's what we call purging. And the skin is either adjusting. Now, a purge can go on for 2, 3, 4 days, maximum 5 to a week, and then it will settle down. But purging. I often see a lot of, especially celebrity facialists, and they've got all these lumps and bumps all over their skin because they're just applying and doing too much, that they're overworking the skin. So always be mindful that less can be more, and that the mind intention behind your thoughts and your reasoning for what you're doing to your skin is just as important as applying all these topical products. Now I'm focusing here on layering and topical products, but you all do know that I emphasize that the emotional health of you is just as important to having that inner health for the glow to come outside. Your external glow is an indication of your internal health, and that's ultimate. This is what we're looking for. You can put as many creams on as you want, but if you're not feeling self-esteem, self-worth, actually self-worth is very important in the external look, because you can patch up with creams, but if you don't feel it truly inside you and know that you are beautiful just as you are, even if you have a pimple on the end of your nose. If you have a pimple on the end of your nose, does that make you any better or any less? Or are the words coming out your mouth any less worthy or credible? No, it's just where you are. Don't focus on that, and it will actually just dissipate. It's your body telling you something, that something's going on inside, and the resistance and the fight is elongating that. Just look at it and understand, and try and work out, was it too much dairy I had? Was it too much indulging in going out drinking and having a fun time? Nothing wrong with that, but just realize that the body has to have a way of dealing with that. So back to skincare. Once we've done, evening is the perfect time to do your extra treatments. We're going to choose a face cream. Now I, as you know, use the ceramide, the evening cream. If a bottle says evening, if your skin is dry and you need that during the day, there's no hard and fast rule to say, oh, I can only use this in the evening. It's a bit like body wash, shower gel. You don't need a different product for the shower and a different for the bath. You can use them. Trust your skin, trust your gut, look at it, know it. You know it better. You're looking at it in a mirror. And if you're like me, you're looking at it in a 10 times mirror. So you really do know your skin. So now is the time to apply your face cream, patting in again on there. I like to use a face oil afterwards, particularly because I tend to gua sha most evenings, so I will apply a film of oil. If I'm going to do that, I do add a few drops of CBD into my face cream, and I mix those together. This is like an extra treatment for your skin, and you don't need to buy extra products with CBD in them. Whatever skincare you're currently using, if it suits you and you're happy with it, just drop a few drops of CBD into it for the benefits. Start with 1, move up to 2, 3. I've got a post totally on CBD, so check that out on my YouTube channel. On there, eye creams. It's an area that I skirted around in the morning routine. There's a lot of conflict over eye creams, whether they should be applied in the evening, in the morning. There's no hard fast rule. The morning is then you're protecting yourself, works as an extra antioxidant, protects yourself from all the pollution, free radical damage. Evening, some people say that because they're laying down, it gets too much into the eyes, into the eyelid. Now, when you are applying eye cream, you really only want a teeny amount. And I'm going to do a full post very soon on eyes and eye cream. So really, that is a most generous amount. There's very few eye creams on the market that I actually particularly like and do recommend. This is one by Dermodality, and the other one is a peptide cream by Environ. So I start just by tapping it on. And then with eyes, really, there is no cream that is going to take away your bags. There is no cream that is going to take away your black circles. There is no cream that is going to magically make those wrinkles disappear. The cream gives you the slip to do a good manual massage and with your gua sha. So if you've watched my gua sha videos, and I'll be making one on eyes, you'll get to understand why manual work on your skin is just as important, if not more so, than eye cream. Also, if you don't want to, if you want a simple range and you don't want to add eye cream in, or you're very young, just take your face cream and make sure that you take it along the occipital bone there, and you can use whatever's there to do the massage. It's perfectly okay on there to do that. So I think that has taken me through my skincare routine, morning and evening. If you have any questions on there, please do leave it in the comments. No, there's no comments, we're on Zoom. Do please DM me and I will answer those for you. And I hope you enjoyed that and have fun with your skincare routine. Please let me know how you get on. Thank you.